Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Crypt Finder. As always, my name is Brian. I am your horror movie host, and I am currently in a series right now all about classic made for TV horror movies. I say classic because some of them truly are classics, and others, yeah, maybe not so much. But hopefully, if I can talk about these, shed a little light, it'll pique your curiosity, and you'll go and take a look at a few that might have just flown under the radar. So, I do have to offer a word of warning. I feel like I have to say this quite often. Just remember, made for TV movies are very different than any of the big screen counterparts. These were shot on very modest budgets. They are paced much slower than movies that you certainly have come along since that time, and also they just didn't have the money for special effects. However, the movie that I am going to be talking about today does have Emmy award winning special effects, so that's something a little bit unique here. So, if you are a fan of creature features, this one is going to be right up your alley, especially if you like movies that sort of have that battle in the desert between man and sort of monstrous mayhem. Movies like, for example, Tremors, or It Came from Outer Space, or Them, then I think you might get a kick out of this movie. Okay, we have to go all the way back to November 21st, 1972 for the CBS Tuesday night movie Gargoyles. If you have a soft spot for monster movies, especially ones that have a certain low budget drive-in vibe to them, then yeah, Gargoyles is going to be a must-watch. This 1972 cult classic was directed by Bill Norton, and the film stars Cornel Wilde as Dr. Mercer Bowley. He's a seasoned anthropologist. He has a deep fascination in the occult, and joining him on this trip is his daughter Diana, who is a photojournalist. So she's going to be taking all of the photos for a book that he's actually writing on demonology. Their academic journey takes a rather unexpected and terrifying twist. This pair, they venture to a remote roadside museum in the sun-scorched wilderness of New Mexico. It's run by the eccentric and mysterious Uncle Willie to see a skeleton of unknown origin. Now, Dr. Bowley believes that it's all just a hoax. He thinks it's just cobbled together different animal bones. But Uncle Willie insists that no, it is the real thing. And it's a rare, enigmatic skeleton that's in his collection, and frankly, one that could hold the key to ancient demonic secrets. But this isn't just any skeleton. It turns out it belongs to a clan of ancient gargoyles, and yeah, they want it back. As Dr. Bowley and Diana find themselves sort of caught in a deadly struggle between man and monster, the film plunges us into a harrowing battle to survive against a primordial evil. There's even some indication, at least in the voiceover narration at the beginning, that what we see and know of gargoyles, maybe they're actually mankind's interpretation of demons. And here's some of the things that make Gargoyles a real standout film. The filmmakers made a really inspired choice here to shoot in the rugged, arid landscapes of New Mexico and Laredo, Texas. These harsh and unforgiving terrains really enhance the film's authenticity. It adds a layer of sort of raw realism to the story. The desolate desert combined with the eerie cave system where the gargoyles make their lair, it really amplifies the sense of isolation and impending doom. The groundbreaking work of special effects legend Stan Winston and his team, they're on full display in Gargoyles. The creature designs are innovative and genuinely chilling, especially considering the constraints of early 1970s television. And as I mentioned in the intro, Winston won an Emmy Award for his work on this film. It definitely sets a new standard for creature effects. It's making the gargoyles more menacing and certainly memorable. And I mean, you won't find them frightening today, not by today's standards. But in 1972, wow, yeah, there wasn't anything else quite like this on TV. It was almost kind of trippy in its sci-fi horror elements because it was just so groundbreaking. The film is just packed with scares and scenes that'll really send shivers down your spine. One of the most iconic, and yes, I was sitting there in 1972 watching this particular film, and this scene is the one that I remember the most vividly. It's actually where this gargoyle's clawed hand comes slowly rising over the bed frame in Cornel Wilde's motel room. It's a moment really drenched in suspense. It lingers in the mind long after the credits roll. Cornel Wilde was a real Hollywood veteran, and he had a long career and turned in some memorable roles in The Greatest Show on Earth, Leave Her to Heaven, various TV shows. Jennifer Salt plays his daughter Diana, and she might look familiar because she also played Eunice Tate on the TV show Soap from 1977 to 1981. Bernie Casey's portrayal of the lead gargoyle, it's a real highlight, by the way. Though the performance was dubbed by the narrator, Vic Perrin, the electronically altered voice, it just adds this sinister, otherworldly quality to the character. It's a weird mechanical sort of sound, but it also has a little bit of a echo and a hiss to it. I still don't really know how they did it, but it's extremely effective.
You have nothing to fear. Your people have nothing to fear.
The costume designed by Sonny Berman Jr. combined with Casey's imposing presence and again Vic Perrin's voice, it brings the lead gargoyle to life in a way that's both terrifying and also fascinating. And you also have Woody Chambliss as Uncle Willie. He was a character actor from way back. He had roles on Gunsmoke and Perry Mason and The Andy Griffith Show. And you also have Scott Glenn, who shows up in a very minor part in one of his earliest roles. While Winston's creature designs are very impressive, the film does have its quirks to it, most notably the frequent use of slow motion anytime the gargoyles are present. Intended to highlight the creature's terrifying movements, the slow motion sequences sometimes expose the limitations of the bulky costumes. However, in the end, this really just adds to the film's charm and quirkiness, showcasing the sort of creative efforts to bring these monsters to life, despite all the constraints of time and money. For fans of the gothic TV soap opera Dark Shadows, please keep an eye out for Grayson Hall. She shows up in a brief but memorable role as Mrs. Parks, the beleaguered, drunken motel owner. In the end, Gargoyles, it's a unique blend of creepy atmosphere, unforgettable monster effects, and really suspense that makes it a standout entry in the made-for-TV horror genre. It's a film that embodies the spirit of 1970s horror. It's a time when creativity often trumped any sort of budgetary limitations. Is it perfect? No, not even close. There's a lot to dislike here, looking through a modern lens. Look, the acting, it can be really wooden at times. The pacing is a little very slow, etc., etc. But for fans of this film, and usually it's fans are of a certain age demographic where they remember this very fondly, and sort of that rosy glow of childhood paints this one as more memorable than it actually is. Is it good? I don't know. I sat right there in 1972. I watched it. I never forgot it. So, yeah, I'm not the best one to ask about that. I think plenty of people will watch this and absolutely hate it. You can find flashier, more up-to-date creature features, but I still think there's a charm to this one, and you just can't find it anywhere else. As I have said before, I'll say it again, there are plenty of worse ways to spend your weekend with a tub of popcorn and sitting in front of a movie just like this one. So if you're in the mood for a fun, eerie, slightly campy kind of movie, then yeah, with monstrous creatures lurking in the shadows, then yeah, Gargoyles is certainly worth your time. Be sure to stick around as we continue to dig up more made-for-TV horror gems in the weeks to come. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and as always, stay curious and stay scared.